Hi, Amber. Good morning, Mr. Smiley. I like the sound of that. Paul, say hi. So we're up in the garden, the new garden, the brand new garden that we are seeding today with brand new little plants. Over here I've got clippings that we started rooting them about, 2 weeks ago. We've got some other community members that have started plants. We've got some desert plants, some cactus. That's awesome. I got some. We're going to turn this into a beautiful garden. Look at this view. Alright, so where am I? Little table there. So I got all these little plants. Not bad for $10. Every morning, Paul and I take our little walk around the flower market. I'm just gonna move the camera and show you. All right. Now I have a heck of a glare on, so I can't really see how good it is. Let's see if we can. So that's the corner. So every morning we're going to walk up along that line there, back now. That's the flower market. And these big giant warehouses there is where they move all those flowers around. We'll take you on a little walk one of these mornings. They kind of get weird down there about taking pictures because a lot of the floral designs that you see are pretty unique and they're pretty awesome. But, you know, they don't want to be putting their work online for someone to steal. I don't blame them. Not a bad view, huh? You didn't do so bad. Right down there in the corner is fire station number 9. It is the busiest fire station in the city of Los Angeles. Well, I can't see the glare, so I can't see how good the shot is. So anyway, see the back of my head. So I got these started with clippings, mixed in some soil. Actually, put some egg in there too. You know, the eggshells for my breakfast. Rather than throw the eggshells away, I collected them and I ground them all up and I mixed it in with the soil too to add a little bit of nutrients in there. So that's what we did today before I'm going to seed my new ministry up here on the rooftop of the SP7 villas. was one of the first people to move in October when the building opened up. So really, really blessed to be here. It was kind of it was fast, and I was really lucky to be here, and I'm grateful to be here. It's a brand new building, a lot of supportive services. It's going to be a great community. It's part of the Skid Row Housing Trust projects. I went and was selected to be a part of, so here I am. Planting new seeds. This is cool. So we're going to give you a little tour of the place, I'm sure, at some point. I'm kind of committed to trying to do 40 videos, 40 days. I think it's important to tell the story of how I got here. And I think that I'm going to start doing that. And I think that I need to just kind of let it out. And each day, get rid of something that's, either I'm clinging to, hanging to, or that needs to be said. I mean, my last, if you were paying attention, my last rant and rave there is pretty serious. I'm angry and feel very disrespected. But overall, I feel like the community itself, which was supposed to be that faith-keeping and faith-seeking group of people, were the biggest failures for me. It's kind of like, 12 years ago, if they had had a little more faith in what was being talked about, really thought about, the future, their congregation could be in a very different place right now. They could be looking at hiring a new minister to succeed the current pastoral leadership. All sorts of things could be different. The future could be different. They chose to be synchronized with retirement. And, I understand that there's a whole book about this, when congregations come to an end. So it's a process. It's a very personal process for a lot of people. But 12 years ago, what I brought to the table was pretty cutting edge. I'm not cutting edge, but it would have put them 12 years ahead of where everybody else was now. For a very small group of people, with a very forward-thinking foundation, very progressive. It would have allowed them the opportunity to have recorded each one of those messages and created a library of content that could have provided revenue as a source of foundation to create that ministry for a global ministry, not just a local ministry, but a global ministry. Anybody with an internet connection anywhere in the world can tap into that ministry, be connected. At some point in time in the day, anywhere in the world, they could be listening or watching. Now that monetizing and that creates that avenue, advertising revenue. That's what happens on the internet. You generate thousands of views and likes and clicks, and they send you a check. Okay. So that would add to donations, not just. It would have been an opportunity for them to have created new ministry and to grow beyond the walls of a physical church, because that was the idea. Everybody knew that the brick and mortar store and the brick and mortar experience was going to be gone, and it took the pandemic to realize that for a lot of people. A lot of people didn't want to believe that was happening. Now everybody's online. Stores are closing. They don't need to pay this $1,000 of rent, and it's that model is done. So the fact that it took them that long, a pandemic, to be forced really to make that decision, and then to find out that decision was probably the best thing they could have done, because now they see the exposure that they're getting from the outside world. They're seeing the results of what would happen when they did that. Can you imagine where they would have been 12 years ago had they believed in what was the plan that was presented to them? So yeah, it definitely is an angry situation, because I feel like they've just really done disservice to not just themselves, but to the legacy of that church, that congregation. Congregation to me was a group of people that came to the table, and there was no one greater or less than or equal. We were all equal. And I really feel like a handful of these elite people decided to make the decision that they know better, and that, when things start going behind closed doors, and only a handful of people know what's going on, then that's a problem. That's a red flag should go up anywhere in the world when that happens. So, when that happened to me, regardless of the fact that people want to acknowledge the contribution that I had, I'm over that. I'm quite happy where I'm at. I'm not making this stand because I feel like I need to have some kind of revenge or that I'm trying to get at you. I'm not trying to cause it at all. It's just it's the same principle as when the San Gabriel Gay and Lesbian Center borrows pictures from someone on the internet, and suddenly they find out that that image is copyrighted. You want that to be acknowledged because you want that organization to understand, hey, that's wrong. It wasn't about the money, but by acknowledging what happened, it allows you to grow and continue to move on. That didn't happen because people feel like, I don't know, everybody did is. It's important to acknowledge when you make a mistake, because from that mistake or that failure, you can become better, grow. Each new day is an opportunity in which to grow, to learn, and to become something better. And that never happened. So 14 years is a long time to be committed to something, to have a group of people like that shut it down with malice. I must say, there was quite a few really disgusting and disgraceful things that people choose to make up. And it's truly true what they say about those church ladies. Watch out, they hold their fucking parking lot meetings. They really do. Right after church in the parking lot, catch them behind Ford Chevy underneath an oak tree. They talk shit because and when you get a small core group of them together like that, they're capable of mean things, very mean things. So yeah, I feel like just delete the Facebook page and create your own experience. You download everything, you have all the videos. I'm not stopping you from doing anything. You're quite capable of continuing to do whatever you want. All I'm saying is, rather than delete my name, just delete the Facebook page, because that's the real connection to me. Because if you look at all of the years that page is published, since it was created 12 years ago, I have published and I've created all that content there, and I've curated all that content without any support from anybody. So if you want to go ahead and start pulling my name off of it, well then just delete the page and start your own page with your own name, starting it and establishing under your own control and guidance. Because let me tell you, that it really is insulting the way that I feel like I've been treated. To leave the organization that I left and leave the place where I was at, just so you know, this is how hurt I feel. Was that nobody helped in the middle of a pandemic to lift a finger. Two words that were most commonly spoken to me were, I don't know, and call 211. Now, how does that happen when, I don't know. I don't want to get into the details because it's not important. I'm happy. And I'm trying to get over it. And so that's what this 40 days of Lent is going to be about for me, is getting rid of all of this negative energy that's accumulated over the last 14 years. It's like the calcium digging into my teeth, and get rid of it. And turn these stories into a positive, because I think if these stories aren't told, then the experience is lost for everybody involved. To say that you don't exist is not a wonderful feeling to have, for anybody. And I look at the experience that what I went through in the last 2 years, and I gotta say, for somebody who was coordinating closure, why couldn't they have organized the salvage and the architectural salvage of that place? Because I saw that place stripped in a manner which was so disrespectful and so disgraceful that my heart broke every time I walked into and saw it. To have the doors of this place just left wide open, taken off, for anybody to roll through there was it just rips your heart out to think that, wow, it may not be about the building, but everything that was in that building was just discarded, forgotten, left there on the floor, And I hate to tell you, but I got the pictures and the video to show you. I'm not going to do that right now because it's not important to me at the moment, but I mean, it is important for me right now, today, to acknowledge where I'm at. Just take a moment and go around my view. And I'm okay. I'm happy. God's fucking been with me every step of this adventure that I've had. And I've learned a lot. And I've grown a lot. So this is not being done. I'm not taking this position for I don't want anything. There's nothing that can be returned. There's no reason to just end it, Just delete it. It seems like all the other documents of the existence of this congregation ended up in a trash. I hate to admit it too. I mean, I have more pictures of that place than anybody, even probably the Historical Society or fucking the museum out there in Arcadia. So I'm probably going to end up donating a lot of that stuff there too, to make sure that the history ends up somewhere where it's at least respected. I don't know. As you can tell, I'm really hot on this issue. So I'm hot enough that I've decided to commit to, this series of Lenten, giving it up, going out there in the desert on my own, and here I am, putting it out there. And what happens after 40 days? I don't know. We'll see what happens out of this, but my goal would be to take these stories, and they're not all about the church. Come on. At 19 I was kicked out of my house because I was gay. My family discarded me. My brothers think I'm evil. That was a tough life. It got even tougher. At 19 I ended up in a gay bar, serving drinks, cocktail waitress. Those are some great stories. Those are the best stories. Wait till you hear those. And I ended up in the gay porn business. General manager of 3 large porn companies. Helped establish one. Ended up managing a 44,000 square foot nightclub in Orlando, Florida. Met a lot of cool people. That was fun. Ended up back here in LA. And then ended up behind a church. The gay guy behind the church, right? It all started with a guy that I met in a bar. That's another story for another day. So, but I'm going to get back to this now, because I'm going to worry about planting the seeds of my new ministry. Nice view, huh? I can't see, by the way, so we need to block this. I don't know how bad the image is. I can't see if anybody's even watching. Okay, so we're recording. New viewers, share live video. Am I still live? I don't know, can't tell. Damn. Can't tell if it's still live. Oh well. Oh, I think I got a phone call and it interrupted. I think I'm still live. Am I still live? Hello, Eduardo. Hello, Cassie. Oh. Da-da-da. Let's see. So those are all clippings. So today I'm going to add these little starter ones that I got, because I really want to get them going so that I can start propagating them. So, like, I want to turn some of these leaves into other plants. Try. The thing I learned about taking clippings and putting clippings in the ground was with these succulents. They think that they're drought tolerant, that they don't need a lot of water. But when you start them from clippings, artist who had a sculpture over at the Arcadia Arboretum, it's called the Kern. It was a beautiful picture, the kernel of truth. What's this? Anyway, she had hired me to water them, the succulents that she had that were around the base of the sculpture, because they were just babies and brand new. So once a week, I had to go out there to the Arboretum with a watering can, and I had to walk across that big green lawn and found a pool with peacocks where I could get the water from my watering can, walk back across the green lawn, and then I had to have a picture of myself taken every time I watered the plants to prove that I went there and watered the plants. Obviously, she was an artist that wasn't in town, so that would be my proof. I'd have to send her the picture of me watering these plants once a week. So anyway, that's how I learned about the establishment of succulent plants. She's a landscape architect who designs these landscapes and these experiences with drought-tolerant plants. So it's pretty neat to be a part of that little experience. Just to have my picture taken and to walk across the lawn of the Arboretum with a watering can. That was fun. So yeah, in order to propagate these, I wanted to get them started really quickly. So then I went and got these for $1 down here at the flower market. So many of them down there. I wanted to get some of these started, so hopefully maybe 6 months, 9 months, maybe a year, I'll be able to propagate a few of these off of here. My goal would be to create a nice garden here that I can multiply into some of the areas that need some plants, you know. Fill them out. Why spend money when you can grow for free, you know? It's true. Why didn't bring a spoon? Why didn't bring anything to... Yeah, so I've kept the soil pretty moist. It's cool. So, I love this new apartment. On to other things. Let's talk about the SP Villa here. So I'm on the corner of 7th and San Pedro. So that beautiful side there is the flower market, the flower district, fashion district. So the other direction is Skid Row, the Union Mission. I'll tell you. Walking through downtown LA yesterday, I don't know if you noticed, but there's quite a few testing booths out everywhere. Like, it seemed like every other block we went to, we saw a little pop-up canopy testing for COVID. Years, you know, I'll be able to double this garden, triple it. That'll be cool. That's fun. Speaking of drought-tolerant plants, that reminds me, one year it came up about in front of the church. Yeah, all that stories about church. And the fact that it was, I mean, the watering the ivy was like, and keeping up with the fact that it was like, you know, you're looking at like a sprinkler system was like 50 years old. The whole infrastructure was getting ready to fall apart, you know. But having to turn off water spaces, it's like, okay, I saw an opportunity, and let's, you know, hey, let's turn this into a positive. Let's let all the ivy die. And, you know, come in there, lay down a tarp or some weed-proof black, you know, get some gravel, throw some gravel down there, and throw in some drought-tolerant plants, you know. Take the time to naturally let it go and just propagate small plants like this. grow the garden that you need. Put a big sign up in there that says, transformational or whatever. Drought tolerant, save water, conserve water campaign. Make it a big deal. Make it about bringing change to the community and doing the right thing. Turning your lawn into a desert oasis. Save the water. We could have done something like that. Put a big old billboard up there and got a GoFundMe account. Got people to fund the garden transition instead of watering ivy. I never understood that. Let's water the ivy. Oh, I know what it was. Ivy was needed to green the cross. Yeah. Going in fast, huh? So Paul and I both had our doctor's appointments this week. Paul has arthritis. And what else is he doing? Oh, he's getting older and he's losing his teeth. Other than that, he's pretty healthy. His joints aren't that bad. She said Paul's doing pretty good. I'm doing okay. I still gotta go get this colonoscopy thing done. Apparently they've lowered the age to 45 now. So, yeah, I gotta go today, as a matter of fact. Today I have an appointment to go see the prep, or to do the prep for it. I'm not looking forward to this. But, gotta get it done. Yeah, my doctor is definitely concerned. But, concerned's not enough to tell me what she's concerned about. But, I hate that. It's now it's left to my imagination to think about it. So now I gotta get over there and get it done. So that get over it, take care of it before it becomes something worse. Yeah, speaking of 45, I guess I'm gonna be 49. God, I hate hearing that. 49? Do you feel it? I don't feel it. I'm starting to look it, but there are days where I feel it. One more. Just get a little bushy. station number 9. Nice. What do you think, Paul? Paul's just chilling. Paul's always chilling. Yeah, I am in the heart of LA. It's crazy. I got on this side I get the sunrise. So I get the sunrise, sunset. Let me take a go on the door. On a clear day, you can see the beach over there, the mountains. The mountains behind me. pretty windy up here, so I'm looking forward to seeing that fly. I need to go eat some food and take some pills. I hope you've enjoyed my little morning gardening adventure. Planting seed, new ministry. Oh, this one. Yeah, take a look. Let's see. What do we got? Oh, yeah. That'd suck if I did wrong. Fire station number 9. There's all Santa. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my little tour. My little morning confession. Alright, so Paul and I are going to go get going. Something to eat. Some doctor, colonoscopy. Alright, until tomorrow.